Hi, Kyle. It's Walt again. How you doing tonight?
Where did the customer service guy go that I was talking to?
I told you once before I would be the only person you'd be able to speak to going forward, and we are not able to do anything here at the call center for you.
Could you tell me you work at the Extra Space Storage call center?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay. Are you aware that my account is for 82 days past due in your computer system that it says, when in fact it's only like 10 days?
Sir, I am extremely aware. We've gone over this conversation with
Okay.
you time and
When
time
when
again.
is my account being? When is my lien sale?
Multiple times.
When's the lien sale?
Sir, it does not matter when your lien sale is.
It kind of does. I have the right to know that information.
Okay? At this point, you need to either speak to our legal department or go to your local site with a vehicle to remove the items from your units.
Okay. Where in the lease does it
Those
say
are gonna
anything
be the
about
only
that?
two options that you have.
Where does it say? Where in the lease does it say anything about that?
Okay. It does not pertain to the lease right now at this point. You can argue all you want about where does it say it in the lease and California penal code this and penal code that. It does not matter at this point.
Oh, you don't think so?
Okay. Sir, I know so for a fact. So once again, you would either need to speak to our legal department, which you can send your mail correspondence to our actual headquarters in Utah, or if you go to your local site with a vehicle, they are going to allow you to remove your items, as we are no longer doing business with you.
Okay, how come I got a notice that said that my rent was going to be increased as of $721 to $92 if you're not doing business with me anymore?
So those are all computer generated, and
Right.
the computer does not know that we're not doing business with you anymore.
Right. Oh, okay, so the computer doesn't know that you're not doing business with me anymore. So you're committing fraud then by doing what you're doing and saying what you're saying to me right now.
Okay. So, Kyle, you can throw fraud, you can throw embezzlement at me, all that you want. You've told me to call the FBI before me on myself, and again, this all has no bearings in what's happening with your situation.
It kind of does.
We are no longer doing business with you.
Well, who is
we? Are
we?
no longer
Because
taking payments from you.
you guys are sending me letters.
Us as a company. Us as a company.
Okay, so
Extra
what
Space
is your
Storage,
computer system? What does your
we are
computer
no
system
longer
have to
doing
do?
business with Kyle Gorilla.
Okay, well, why doesn't it not reflect that in the computer then?
It does not have to reflect that thing.
It kind of
sir.
does. It kind of does.
So once again,
So are you saying your computer system
you must speak to.
is entirely erroneous and fraudulent, or what? Because it says I'm still renting
Our
from you
computer
guys.
system has nothing to do with your situation.
Okay, do you think your
We are no
investors?
longer doing
Do you
business
think your
with you, sir.
investors think that you guys have a non-useful computer system like that? I think that they think that you guys.
I think our investors are very happy with our computer system as our skyrocketing prices are going way up in the stock market. But that's besides the point. This has nothing to do with your situation. Your situation here is you have two options. Option one, you send some correspondence to our legal team here at our headquarters in Utah. Or option two, you show up to your local site with a vehicle to remove all your items. Once again, we are no longer entertaining business with you.
Okay, so
we're not going to accept any payments from you whatsoever.
What are the exact timelines for when I have to send correspondence or when I have to show up with a vehicle?
Okay, so you can send the correspondence to our local headquarters anytime you want.
What is the timeline
And
though?
then
When do
you
I?
have to just show up with a vehicle.
Okay. Okay, so then, so what if it takes me a year to send? What if it takes me a year to send correspondence to your legal department? Like, I need some information here. Like,
Well, then by then, sir, I mean, unfortunately, your account may be closed.
okay, well, okay, that's what I. Okay, so when would my account be closed? When is my, what is going
That
on?
would be something you would have to mail the legal department for. They will inform you exactly the exact date and time.
Okay, well, what's funny though is that I have a lease with you guys, and it doesn't say anything about me having to email the legal department to get information about my account closing.
Again, sir, the lease has nothing to do with your situation at this point. You can keep going back and forth.
When did the lease become in?
The lease has nothing to do with it.
Okay, how do you figure? Because the lease is a legal document, and that lease is
Okay.
in place still.
Okay, if you wanted to look at it that way, sir, yes, the lease is a legal document, And at this point, since the lease is no longer void because we chose not to renew your lease by not accepting your payment,
it's no longer void?
It does not pertain to you.
Okay.
No, sir, it does not, because we have not accepted your payment. Your account is past due, so we have no longer decided to do business with you. So that lease is no longer in void.
What do you mean? That doesn't make sense. It's no longer in void. You're saying it's valid?
It makes perfect sense. We do not want to do business with you any further.
Okay, you guys have a lease with me, and until a judge until a judge terminates that lease, it's in place.
So I'm speaking now. I'm speaking now.
Okay, well you're not really telling the truth though.
I'm speaking now.
Okay, well then tell me.
Go down.
Okay, I would like for you to tell me where in the lease it says that that if you guys commit.
It has nothing to do with your situation.
It absolutely does. You're totally delusional if you think that the lease has nothing to do with our situation.
Either either mail our legal department here at our headquarters in Utah, or two, you would show up to your local site with a vehicle and remove all items. We are no longer doing business with you.
How long do I have to do that? I need to know when this, what's going on. I need to know how long I have to do these things, and I would prefer it if I could get this in writing, because everything I'm supposed to need to know is in the lease. But you're saying there's all this extra stuff that you're telling me right now that is what applies. And I didn't.
If you want anything in writing, you would write to our legal department, and they will give you all your time frames in writing.
Okay, well, why haven't they done that automatically? Because I, have the right to.
They do not do that stuff automatically.
Okay. Well,
so,
you know
like
what?
I said once
what
before,
how do I know I can even trust you? How do I know you're not lying to me?
Well, that's totally your opinion and your option on whether you want to trust me or not. Bottom line is, I give you your two options. Those are the only two options you have. At this point, we do ask that you stop giving us a call here at the call center. Going forward, your calls will be forwarded to me only.
So you're
going to get me every single time, and you're going to hear the same line over and over again.
Well, I have a problem with what you're saying, though, because
point,
none of it is in. I never agreed to any of the stuff that you're saying. I agreed to the lease, and.
You don't have to agree with anything.
I kind of do. You can't force me to accept these terms.
Lease, which is no longer valid. We do not have a
the
valid
lease is in.
Anymore, as we are not accepting payment.
Okay. I think that you're committing fraud then right now, because you guys do have a valid lease. Okay, why don't you give me this in writing? Why don't you send me a document with this information on it?
Like I said, once again, if you want something like that, you can email or mail our legal department.
Okay, well, you're not the legal department then, right?
What you need to do now...
Are you the legal department?
Okay. So,
are you the legal department?
Sir, I've given you your two options.
Okay, so you're not the legal department.
Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I do truly thank you for calling us here at Extra Space. Have a great evening.
Walt, are you the legal